I essentially had the best job in the world.
Yeah.
Like we won Best Breakfast Show 3 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
I'm including myself in that for this year because it's taken. Yeah, I can say that I contributed to 3 years.
Claim it.
Hello.
Hey.
As you can see, we're in a completely different place.
Quite fancy,
This is
isn't
not
it?
my bedroom.
No.
If it wasn't already obvious. Today we are doing something very special. First of all, we're recording on our not recording day, which has all thrown us for a bit of a loop.
No, it's
But
good. It's good.
We're also at the NZME studios here in Christchurch today because we have a very special guest.
Yay!
We have Caitlin Marett here with us today.
Hello. Thank you
welcome.
for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you. For,
I can't believe you did this. Thank you.
I feel like I've made it, like going back from B School, and now I'm part of a 700 project.
Oh, wow, that's so
and
So
true.
360 kind of thing.
Yeah,
Aw,
yeah.
well, thank you so much.
it all comes back around. That's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, the reason why we are talking to you, Caitlin, is because today's episode is on women in media and just kind of, I mean, you're perfect for this because the whole Up in the Year is about us transitioning from like uni students to young professionals, and what better person to talk to about that than you? So
I'm a little bit odd in that respect.
yeah, you kind of gone.
I'm gone back to the student life
Yeah.
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
How are
but-
you finding that?
Yeah. So, do you want me to explain the start to finish
Yeah,
sort
go
of
Yeah, on. sure, yeah,
situation
let's
of
run
it?
that.
Yeah, so I went
Definitely.
to B School, probably when you guys were in nappies, like 2008 to 2010.
Okay. No, yikes.
Best years of my life. Like I really loved it. I met some of my best friends. From broadcasting school, and then I did my internship. Sorry, I'm giving you like a complete
this is what we
background
want.
of my
This is
life.
perfect, yeah.
It all started so went to my internship in Gore, which is down the very bottom of the South
Yes,
Island.
Wonderful
yeah.
place. Yeah.
I was there for 9 months, and then I got a job in Wellington as the breakfast producer for Dave and Camille, who were the local classic hits show.
Ooh.
When they were still doing local classic hit shows. And I was there for like nearly 3 years, and then I got a job with Fletchwood and Megan up in Auckland. So I moved up there, and I was their producer for nearly 6 years.
Wow, okay.
And then it wasn't like a one day I decided. It was sort of a progression of things. But then I decided that I would quite like to become a nurse after 10 years in radio. And so I just took the leap, and now I'm a student nurse down here in Christchurch again. So I've done a full
Student
circle.
life, yeah.
Student life is fun.
It's crazy.
Is it like different the second time round? Have you noticed like, because I was a student the first time, you like have more knowledge the second time round?
Yeah,
you
totally.
kind of know the ins and outs, I guess.
Well, so I'm classified as a mature student.
Mature.
So I'm actually 30 next month, which makes me sound so old. I'm like at least 10 years older than you guys. But yeah, so the mature student side of things, I think in regards to I feel like I've done all the partying and all of the getting to know people, and now I feel like I can sort of relax a bit and just like really focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think, well, especially at broadcasting school, we were always trying to prove something to each other. And
Know the feeling.
the tutors, yeah. I definitely feel like I'm on the back foot with this degree because most of the other students are mature students as well. It's a postgraduate master's degree, which means
wow.
it's only 2 years for me to be a registered nurse instead of 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so most people came from backgrounds in medicine or anatomy, or some of them are even like paramedics or enrolled nurses. It was really embarrassing. We had to go around the circle on our first day and say what our degree was. And I was like, hi, my name's Caitlin. I've done a degree in radio broadcasting.
Hey.
And everyone was kind of like, oh. And then it was kind of like on Mean Girls where the person stood up in the background and they were like, did I see you crying on a video? So So yeah, and I was like, oh, that was me.
That
and
was me. Hi.
Probably like 5 different videos per week. No, so yeah, but I think it's definitely a good skill. Like the communication side of things is a good skill to have in nursing. Hopefully, I've just got to do.
No, yeah, definitely. That's a big part. I can imagine.
Yeah, no, it is. I've just got to really knuckle down and get all the anatomy and physiology part of it.
The secondary stuff. The talking is the first, foremost, the most important part of.
I can talk anyone out of any pain. But yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. But still doing a little bit of media. I have a ZM show, which I'm very lucky. Thanks, Ross Boss. On a Saturday from 12 till 5. So this is my happy place. Well, that's probably not the right word. This is my comfortable place.
Yeah, you know it.
I can come in
familiar.
Familiar, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the main sort of driving force behind you wanting to stay active? Because you obviously have your podcast as well with Gracie and Brody. Was it just because it's genuinely something you enjoy and it's your happy place sort of?
Yeah, totally. I think, I get paid, which is really good.
Yeah, obviously pocket money.
Totally.
Bonus. Yeah.
It's a bonus. But it's really nice. Sometimes I get text messages on the text machine, and it's like, Caitlin, I didn't I recognize your voice. I didn't realize you were back doing stuff. It's really nice to hear you.
Oh, it's so lovely.
And that's really, really nice. Yeah. But it is. It's just something that I know how to do. Pretty much in my sleep because I've been doing it for so many years. So it's really nice to have that familiarity. Is that how you say it?
I have trouble saying words all the time.
I'm a professional broadcaster, but that doesn't get better with that. Just happens.
Oh, damn it.
And the podcast is just a fun little. I hate saying this word. I feel like there's so many. It's just overused at the moment, but a side hustle. I feel like everyone's got a side hustle, which I think is really good. But I love, it's amazing. We've got some events coming up, and it's just a great way to get to sit around and talk to people because it's like my favourite thing to do is talking.
Talking. Going off that, there's a lot of women doing podcasts and duos, trios. But why is that not reflected on why do you think that's not reflected on mainstream radio? Why do you think there's no drive show hosts that are just both women?
Just females.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I feel like it's a pretty new concept still. I know that there are a couple of shows in Australia that are just female presenters.
Sally and Erica, I love them. They're so cool.
Yeah. So I guess the history of radio is there has always been males. And just because it's that strong voice that comes through. I mean, there's definitely lots of there's still a lot of solo female shows.
Yeah, totally, and that's coming.
Even on News Talk ZB with Kerry Woodham and stuff, which I think is that's not all that new, but it's I don't know. I don't actually have the answer for that. I guess it's like anything in life. There's still a discrimination and pay gap between females, especially in the media industry, from what I know, but I can't confirm that, so I'm not exactly sure about that. But I guess we just have to keep pushing,
totally,
and show that 2 or 3 girls at one time isn't just going to be a blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because I think that's
kind of the thought what would happen.
Yeah, I think that's the perception of it. But, I mean, that's just bullshit because it's not. We can, as you can see, with the 3 of us, we can have really well-structured
We know how to have adult conversations, believe it or not.
Yeah, and so many podcasts show that of women doing your podcast as well. I was listening to it today, just it's just, there's no And even people were saying, or we heard at B-School or something, the reason why there is a male is because that lower voice, that higher voice can kind of, I don't know, not be as attractive or to the ears or something. Yeah. So I mean, do you see in the near future, or do you think in the near future women duos could be more of a thing?
Well, Brodie's actually got a very deep voice, so she can. We can actually all get all the different sounds.
Yeah.
I don't think it shouldn't be that, but it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think. we have so many amazing female broadcasters in New Zealand across all platforms of radio and TV. So I don't think there shouldn't be a reason why it shouldn't just be females running the world.
Great.
I mean, we say this and then everyone's like, you hate men? It's like, well,
No.
no, I actually really love men.
Yeah.
All right. I just
Do
want... That's another story. I think it's just, we just have to keep working away at it and it'll get there at some stage. I hope.
Fingers crossed eventually.
Yeah.
One day.
Amazing.
Right.
I kind of want to backtrack a little bit,
Yeah.
like right back to the start. High school leaver Caitlin, thinking about options after school and stuff. Obviously now you've made like a big transition, which is kind of similar to what we're going through at the moment. But why was B school something that you were interested in initially, and did nursing ever sort of come into your mind at that point in time?
Yeah.
Was it something that sort of developed as you've gone on?
Yeah. So my mum is a nurse, and growing up I was like, never want to be like my mum. She's a nurse in a small town, so it's quite hectic. Like, would get calls at 10 o'clock at night, and it's someone like, Johnny's fallen off his bike. And mum just always seemed like so much pressure on her, and I was like, and I was always the entertainer of the family. I'm sure they always tell you at B school, like, there's always that one in the family. We're the three of that one in the family. The entertainer, and like I did drama and dance. And then I kind of didn't really know, because growing up, so I went to school in Timaru, and we didn't really even have a radio station down there. I think we listened to like Port FM maybe, a bit of classic hits. And so I wasn't really familiar with radio in that sense. But Tony Simons came and gave us a little chat one day, and I was like, actually, that could be right up my alley. Yeah. And so very lucky to get in, very surprised to get in. But I definitely felt like that was I always felt when I was in radio that was my life. Like I was going to go through all the different stages from producing to maybe doing a bit of on-air. I did promotions as well. I thought that's where I saw myself. Like that was my dream. That had always been my dream. And the transition to nursing, I think it might have been as I got older and as I saw... as I got more worldly, I guess, I just started to really feel like I wanted to help people. And I know that radio does, in a sense, help people. We would get messages all the time with Fletchborn and Megan about how amazing their show was and how, essentially changed people's lives. And I would talk to people on the phone every morning, and I loved that side of things, just having that one-on-one connection. But there was a time where I was like, what if I could help people with my hands? Like, what if I could physically get in there and, stop people's pain and be a part of their journey to recovery? And I've always loved working with children. That's one of my passions. I do nannying. I've got a niece and a nephew, so I'm really hands-on with them. And I was always thinking, if I could... help a child when they are in pain, how amazing would that be? So I think that was the drive behind it. And now that I'm here, I'm like, I'm meant to be a nurse. So, I mean, God, 10 years' time, might be back on radio. That's why I think I'm keeping it in with Ross. I'm like, hey, just in case I don't pass.
I'd love to come
back. Got a backup plan,
But I think it's kind of unusual, but I think it's happening more nowadays, especially with what's been happening lately with COVID and stuff. It's sort of helped people to realise, like, am I doing this because I want to do it? Is this my dream? Is this where I see myself? Or am I doing it because it pays the bills? Or I don't feel like there's anything else out there for me. I think I'm very lucky because my parents have an apartment here in Christchurch, which I pay. I do pay rent, not that much, not as much as I was in Auckland.
Amount.
Yeah, a nice amount. So I feel like I would not have been able to do this if I had a husband or children or didn't have access to family down here. So I feel very lucky in that sense that I was able to essentially like change my whole life, lift everything up and move. And I understand that not a lot of people have that flexibility. But I think if there's something that you've always wanted to do, no matter what your age is, like I've got people in my class in their 50s that are completely just changing their career. And I just think it's amazing. I think you should definitely give it a shot if you can.
Yeah, and I read an article that said some people were inspired by your move from industry to industry, that it inspired them to do that as well.
Oh, that's really? So awesome. That's so cool.
Like,
well, I mean, and that's the beauty of radio, turning it back onto that. Like,
totally,
when I spoke about it on the radio, I got the most amazing messages from people, and I still get people asking, you know, how did you make the change? Is there anything that I can do to, you know, progress in that way? And I wouldn't have had the opportunity to speak to those people, or people might not have even had the opportunity to hear my story if I didn't talk about it on the radio on the Best Breakfast Show in New Zealand.
No comment.
Oh, okay.
Japan.
That's all right. That's all good. I get it, guys. No, I am. I think I will always be the biggest fan of Fletchborn and Megan. They are some of my best friends.
I am also a fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can say that. We're a fan.
We can say that. Yeah, sure.
But how long were you in limbo of being like, nursing? Do I like leave radio? How long was that decision? And that was it a battle like between your head, like, kind of like,
the biggest.
Yeah,
the biggest.
I can imagine.
Because it is I essentially had the best job in the world.
Yeah.
Like we won Best Breakfast Show 3 years in a row.
Oh wow!
I'm including myself in that for this year because it's taken. Yeah, I can say that I contributed to 3 years.
Claim it.
The most amazing people to work with, the best perks. Like we went to Dubai, we went to Cambodia, I went to Thailand, and you know, like it's amazing. And I have actually had a little bit of, I call it negative feedback, although I'm sure that they aren't wanting it to come across that way, but a few people have said to me, what the hell are you doing? Why would you give up something like that when you have it so good? It is such a great job to essentially like go clean up vomit and, you know, change bedpans and stuff like that. And when people say that to me, I have, and there's been moments in this year especially, but definitely last year when I was changing, where I was like, Caitlin, why? Like, what are you sure about this? Why are you doing this?
What am I doing?
But I definitely go back to the reasons why I want to become a nurse and why I want to help people, and that's I honestly encourage anyone that is wanting to change their careers to write down a list of things about why they wanted to in the first place, and just go back and check on that every single time you doubt yourself, because there will be doubt.
Totally.
There always is. Like, I'm a poor student now at nearly 30.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's so great.
What was the original question? This is what happens to me.
Oh, it was just like,
it happens to us every single time we film.
yeah, we're like, hang on, wait.
What were we talking about again?
No, just like, how long was that limbo of just do I do this? Was it, a few months, a year?
It was a year. Yeah, it definitely was a year of, and on the other side of things, breakfast radio slowly kills you. No, I mean,
I couldn't know the early mornings.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
But I did early breakfast radio my whole career. So for 10 years, I was waking up before 6 a.m.
Wow.
And with Fletchborn and Megan, I'd wake up at 4. So it just sort of made me a different person.
Yeah.
Like, just in the long run of that, because you're always on. Well, you guys know this, but with breakfast radio especially, I would be waking up early, doing the show, and then I would be constantly checking my phone, taking phone calls, talking to the guys in a group chat. Like, there was never a moment where I wasn't thinking about the show. So that takes a bit of a toll on you. Not saying that there's not going to ever be a moment where I don't think about my patients, but I think it's just a different, for me, and something that, I don't actually know if I've spoken about this, but with radio, I would get into a space where I was like, I felt like it was a life or death situation. So I'd be like, we haven't got an interview for this thing, or I haven't managed to get that across the line, and I'd just be feeling so terrible about it, and just like it would really bring me down. And then in the other part of my head, I'd be like, Caitlin, there's like children dying in the world. Like there's people suffering every day. Like what you're experiencing right now is just a momentary career low, but then there's these people that have these moments in life all the time.
Other things other than radio.
So I kind of had to. I think I was just really jaded, and so it was probably the best time for me to get out at that point, rather than continuing on and completely blowing out. So you guys will probably hopefully never get to that stage, but if you do,
fingers crossed.
If you do, you'll know, and you'll know when it's time to. I mean, it's like with anything, when it's time to move on from something.
And I think for me as well, radio is so much. Like, it offers so much that I love. Like, it's got the technical side, so I can run over to that if I'm, like, older and feeling a bit overwhelmed and everything. But then again, there's on air. So it's like, there's other elements which I'm happy to go to throughout my career, hopefully,
Definitely.
It is such an amazing industry, and the fact that you can do pretty much whatever.
There's so many areas, and I don't think any of us realised that until our first year at B school, where they like go through each of the things, promotions, sales.
You're like creative, writing ads. I didn't even think about that.
And now we appreciate ads. Like, who would have thought? So.
How much do you guys love sales?
Well, COVID has done something to sales. So
it's not the same as usual.
We don't dislike it as much as we usually would, but it's still there.
I was actually sales manager for
our
second year. It was a real twist of events. For Mode 96.1 was our radio station back in 2010.
So cool.
And I was the sales manager. I just had this drive for like money. I don't know. So weird. I feel
you sound like our manager now.
Hi, Rassie.
I don't know. It was a real twist of events.
It's funny.
Amazing. Well, how long? We've been filming for 21 minutes. I think it's time to take a little breather.
I saw snacks in your last episode. Did you guys bring snacks?
Well, we're not allowed to eat. We thought we're not allowed to eat in the studio.
Okay.
Unless we can find some free food lying around the building.
Around here?
We can go have a look.
We can review something. This will be fun. This is a great snack break. We'll review some random food we find lying around the office.
We'll be back.
And we'll be right back after this. Thank you so much. Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to part 2 of this episode.
Meg, what happened to your earrings?
They were actually covering my ears, thank God.
Okay.
Many things happened in the short, 5 minutes we were gone. I realised I was only wearing one earring. This is what happens when I wake up early in the morning.
Yikes.
I ran into the double glazed studio window because I thought it was a shelf.
And I nearly peed my pants laughing.
We found some rotten mallow puffs. It was a great time.
It's been an adventure, definitely.
But we're here. Snacks.
Snack break.
Are we allowed to eat in here?
Yeah, I always eat in here.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, yeah.
There is now proof of that on the internet, and we're about to do it.
Dive into that.
I never thought I'd do. Would you like to do the honours, Ella?
I don't know how old they are.
What do we have?
We had a little scavenger around and found some bliss balls. They're not open, so that's a good sign.
Okay.
Should we all give it a go?
I really was hoping you would.
Wow, they're not balls.
Oh, they different coloured.
I'm not eating that.
I'll give it a go.
I was really hoping you were going to bring those yummy edamame things.
I was genuinely just like, we're not going to be allowed to eat in the studio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's so
Some
poos.
studios you probably might not be allowed to eat in. But.
Yeah.
Am I taking one for the team?
Take one for the team. That smells horrific.
It's my 21st tonight. What if I get the runs?
Is it your birthday today?
No, it was my birthday on Wednesday.
But she's got
it's my 21st tonight.
Oh,
yeah. We're going on
so
a double-decker bus, so.
Oh my God, that is so Christchurch of you.
Charlie, yeah. I might be royally sabotaging myself here, but.
Okay, you have a tiny bite. I don't even want to offer. Is it good?
I don't want my chewing noises.
I get so.
There's a bin down here.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's really. apricot-y.
Yeah, like preserved apricot, I'm sure, because they're so old.
It kind of just tastes like a dried apricot.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to know the best before date?
Oh,
no. What is it?
13th of September, 2016.
I'm out. Bye. I need to go to the bathroom.
I thought you were going to say 2019. I was like, oh, okay.
You know, I'll just...
Ooh.
Whatever.
Okay, all right.
A best before is not an expiry date. That's like, I'm covering my mouth because I'm eating, but like, that's the student saying. That's what my mum always said. She's like, don't waste food, me. Don't throw it out. Best before is not an expiry.
Ignore
Give it a
it.
sniff first.
It's the smell test that matters.
Apparently, the put it in your mouth test as well.
What?
Maybe
Alrighty.
some water.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, you've got dry mouth, but okay, we'll go back into it. As fun as that was.
Are you all right?
Oh, it's just
Do you need a nurse?
It's not just yes.
Caitlin, do you think?
It's not dissolving at all. It's just like it's like gum.
Wheat Bix? Is it like the Wheat Bix, dry Wheat Bix?
Ugh.
Okay, you have your moment. Okay,
You got this.
Caitlin.
Hi, Ella.
Right, so when you were entering this industry and even now, did you have or do you have someone that you really looked up to and you were like for me, PJ and Hillary Barry are like major people that I'm like, yes, I respect you. I want to do what you did. So yeah, did you have that person?
Man, that is, because you just said two of mine. Even though PJ is one of my best friends and was in my year at B school, I actually still look up to her every day with, I wasn't crying, I was just...
I know.
I think Ella is though.
She changed, like I honestly feel like she changed radio.
Yeah, she so did.
Yeah, and I say this to her, and she's like the most humble, awkward person, so it just doesn't really resonate with her. But I think that she changed radio in a way that made people, especially young females wanting to get into the industry, feel more comfortable just to be themselves.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I
talked
say.
about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and so
100%.
that helped me and
Totally.
made me want to be myself. I saw her being her quirky,
Legit, just everything.
yeah, just amazing self, and I was like,
Yeah.
actually, maybe people will just like me if I do be me. Because I remember definitely at broadcasting school, I was like, right, got to get a deeper voice, got to like...
Be louder,
Yeah.
say funny things. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have to be the token female. You can actually be like an integral character and like an actual part of it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I always had these like ideas of what a female broadcaster should be, and then Polly just like completely changed that, and it was really really good. So she's definitely someone that I look up to.
Yeah.
I really, when I was doing my can't remember which paper or whatever they're called,
Something
segment of the broadcasting school.
Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago. 12 years ago. I spoke to Kerry Woodham because I did the night show. The night show with Caitlin or something. I don't know. And so
Mode.
she was,
Oh, wow.
Oh, she's breakfast
Don't-
and drive.
Yeah.
So
Oh, hey.
yeah.
Early mornings are here.
Yeah. That's really cool. Who else how many people on the breakfast show?
3. So we actually have like 18 people doing voice, like or something
Yeah, it's a big
ridiculous.
team.
So
Wow.
all of our shows are like
3.
3s or 2s, and then there's like a couple of solo 1 hours.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's very chunky full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was doing the night show, I spoke to other women doing night shows, and I spoke to Kerry Woodham.
Oh, wow.
And I've always looked up to her in terms of her like strength. Although it is like News Talk ZB is highly different to a music show.
Yeah.
But that's something that I was always like, right, she's knows what's up. She is like this strong woman. And then as soon as I met Megan Sellers, Megan Puppers, she was Megan Sellers then, she's now Megan Puppers. She is my queen. And just in terms of her strength, being a woman in media and going through a bunch of shit in terms of just like having to stand up for herself. And I was always like, I felt like we worked as a team to bring her to where she needed to be. I mean, I'm definitely not saying that I helped her to get where she was, but I wanted to be that like person that would always fight for her and sort of lift her up, and she always did the same for me as well. So I think that she is definitely one to watch out for in terms of a woman in media for you girls. She's definitely knows
what's up.
Yeah, she knows who she is, and she is a strong. Should be a strong role model for young girls, especially in media. Yeah,
definitely. And like going off that, how did you find dealing with like negative comments online and trolling and everything? Was it something you kind of battled with, or did you just watch your kind of on-air friends, I guess PJ and Megan, kind of get more of the front of that?
Yeah, I didn't really experience much of it myself. I remember when Fletchman and Megan interviewed Justin Bieber, and I got a photo with him and I put it up. It was like the best day of my life.
Yeah, definitely.
Is Justin Bieber still cool now? Like, is he? He's a bit older, right?
Personally, I prefer 2015 Biebs. But
okay.
I think we all do.
I don't know what he's doing at the moment.
Chilling,
right? Well,
singing songs.
Yeah, he was actually cool when he came in. I think it was before he went through his like adolescent angst.
Oh, okay.
Wow, like OG Bieber.
Yeah. Oh, that's something to see.
Yeah. So, and I put a photo up, and I got like all these messages from these girls being like, "Leave Justin Bieber alone!" like just like having a go at me. And I like read them out to my mum. I was in the car with her, and she was like, "Oh my God, Caitlin!" I was like, "Mum, I've made it! I'm getting trolls
Finally! The Bieber fangirls are coming for my throat. I can't wait and when that happens for us.
Yeah.
With Harry Styles,
honestly,
preferably.
Harry, we have a whole plan set out.
Okay.
Good. We want that Harry photo.
You will make it happen.
In front of the ZM maybe wall?
Something
Maybe a wall. Any wall.
If you envisage it, it'll get there. Cute little snort.
I'm having a moment here.
Cute little.
Sorry.
But on a serious note, going back.
Oh my God. Sorry. Serious note.
Yeah, so if I ever said something, and I say a lot of stupid things, I definitely said a lot of stupid things when I first started with Fletchman and Megan, more just trying to... I don't know. I was always being myself, but sometimes myself doesn't think before I speak, so I would say silly things, and I would get called out for it from listeners, but also Fletchman and Megan, which was the best learning experience.
Right.
Like, I think it really, I mean, nothing like really, really bad, but I think I would just be like, I think a woman messaged in one day and was like, "Hey, can you just tell your producer to to think before she says some things. They can be quite, like it was something I think, I mean, I wouldn't say it nowadays at all, but I think back then I said something like, it'd be good to get like a quick bit of food poisoning to lose a quick 5 kg, like something like that before I was going to a wedding or something, and I just said it without really thinking. And fair enough, and I'm really glad she did. A mother came back to me and said, my daughter has an eating disorder, and I think that you need to be careful about what you're saying, especially to a live national radio.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible. Like, I think I cried. Vaughan came out and helped me write a reply. But that I will never do that again. So I think that's a good little learning curve. And if that happens to you guys in your career, don't get disheartened, because stuff like that happens. But you have to remember that what you say can be damaging.
And I think I'm realizing that even just on this podcast. Like, I mean, our friends are mainly watching. And just them being like, "Oh, you brought me up, but this isn't 100% true," or I didn't mean it like that. And I'm learning through this now that, you've really got to be careful what you say about your mates and in general about topics that are a bit sensitive,
And I think it's like what we said earlier. I don't think when we started this we realised how much people actually pay attention to what we were saying. And so have people come back and actually add on to that and question you about it. It's quite like, oh my gosh, okay, people actually, it's not just a chat. And even more so scary because it's permanently sort of on the internet, you know what I mean? And with radio as well, gosh, ZM has such a massive following.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in a studio, sometimes it's kind of easy to forget that you know.
You're just it's four walls kind of
I
thing.
know. And
Yeah.
people would message me and be like, hi, I was listening to you this morning. And I'm like, sorry, I nearly swore.
people hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just feel like I'm chatting to my friends. I just feel like, you know, Fletchwood and Megan would come to me, and so I'd just be like, oh, we're just bantering back and forth. But yeah, I think it's a really good thing for you guys to understand now is that everything, like even Snapchats you send, like everything can be traced back, can be out in the open, can be recorded. So. And I think of that as well with my podcast, The Girls Uninterrupted. We talk about a lot of taboo stuff, and we swear and we talk about personal stuff. But I wouldn't say anything on there that I wouldn't be happy to say to people. I mean, I don't want to stand in front of 100 people and talk about my sex life, like, you know, one-on-one, but I am happy to do that in a podcast because I think it makes me relatable in terms of like the people that are listening.
Yeah, and the listeners definitely do relate back to that. You get feedback and you like work from there and kind of have a feel for what your audience is like good with, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think the lesson to take away is just especially when anything's on a mic, anything's in front of a camera, just have a little think before you say something a little bit controversial.
Yeah, definitely. Going on from that, sort of, if you had to go back and give second year B school Caitlin one piece of advice, like you say one thing, what would you say?
Stop drinking. No.
Guys, tonight's cancelled. We're not going out.
No. I should probably give my yesterday self-advice for that.
Dusty something.
No, I was actually in bed at like 8:30 last night. I was prepared for this interview, guys. Shivers. That's such a hard thing.
Or just something you wish you kind of knew back then. Yeah.
I think we'll go back to what we were talking about with PJ, and it's just to be yourself. Because trying to be someone else, man, that just sounds so like...
No, I
just be
100%
yourself.
agree.
Be yourself, guys.
Love yourself.
I think it's such a hard... And also, I mean, especially at your guys' age, like, how do you know who yourself is?
Oh, I'm having a midlife crisis right now, being like,
Okay,
who am I?
You're not having a midlife crisis. You're having
It's like a
quarter.
fifth. Sorry, it's a fifth.
I didn't do well
crisis,
with fractions. I'm sorry. I missed that class.
But I think you can. But that's the beauty of it is you can grow as well. So and I decided pretty quickly that the person that I was is like I could easily make fun of myself. I was pretty open and honest about things. I didn't, not really very shameful about like shit that I get myself into because I always end up in weird situations. But also that I was like I wanted to be like a friendly person. So I wanted to, that is just me. Like as much as I was like, wanted to be like a boss bitch that would like go out there and take no shit from anyone. I haven't always been like that, and I'm not really into conflict. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to come from a positive, kind space, I guess.
And then you approach a conflict situation with that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a space, there's definitely a place to not take shit from people. And I've learnt the hard way from that, but also shown that from learning the hard way that I can do it in the future. But you just got to find, you've got to find your groove, I guess, and just where you can fit into something. But that's not just in career, that's in your life as well. But with radio, your career turns into your life. So, I mean, people will still be like, hi, producer Caitlin.
Hey.
I'm going to be in there soon. But, but I love that because that was such a big, important, great part of my life. So I love that people still call me producer Caitlin. That's fine.
That's so lovely. I love that.
Yeah. Is it time for my favourite segment?
I don't know why you love it so much because
I
every time we do it, you crap at. Like, I love you, but you panic and you never actually answer the question.
I'm going to do it this time. I had a deep reflective thinking night last night.
About all the questions in that box that you don't know anything about.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a deep breath and go for
Go
gold.
with your gut.
Are they like topical, like
Honestly,
current affairs?
I don't know.
in there.
Shit, I'm gonna be terrible at this.
It's not like trivia. It's about like, so what I think like a couple of weeks ago, one of them I answered was like, give the most boring summary of your favorite movie. But then like there were also some that were like quite like, if you could redo one moment in your life, what would it be, or would you even do it? So it's a scale.
Sweating.
Yes.
Okay.
No, we've got this, Caitlin.
Okay. Wait, so am I versing Ella?
Oh no, it's just
how
you
does
pick it out and
Oh,
we'll
we
read
all
it.
pick
Yeah,
it
we'll
out.
go
Oh,
around. Yeah,
perfect.
it's not
Okay,
a
cool.
comp.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
I would fail.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, Ella? Show everyone how it's done.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Okay,
idea.
confidence. I got this. Yes. Oh,
Okay.
I'm touching the mic.
The timer's
sorry.
on 6 minutes for some reason. That's
Keep it there.
We're gonna need 6 minutes. Okay.
Okay, close me.
Wait, how long do we have?
You get
10.
10
Oh
seconds.
shit. Okay.
Okay, I'm reading it first. Don't do
Yeah.
it. Any 3 people to eat dinner with? Who? Okay, PJ, my granddad who passed away. Love you, Fred. And see, a panic. Hillary Barry, like I don't know, Jacinda.
Oh, that's a good trio.
That was good.
Okay, I got there. That was better than sometimes.
Frank would
Some
have
other
the
days.
best time.
Yeah. Oh, Fred, but
Oh,
yeah.
Fred, sorry.
Fred, no, it's
With
all
all
good.
those girls just.
Two great ladies.
With
Fred would have a hoot.
Yeah, he.
3, 'cause
Yeah.
she's there. Ella's there.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, because you're having the dinner as well. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I would say that was a success.
Well
Caitlin,
done.
Meg, who wants to go?
What's the prize?
I think you just feel really like.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
My
Great.
least favourite prize. I need physical stuff. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, we'll bring it next time.
Okay. What does that word say?
Probably my terrible
Oh,
handwriting.
yeah. Okay, cool. What are you watching / loving on Netflix, Neon, etc. right now? Okay. I always watch Friends. Can't stop watching it.
Brilliant.
But lately I've been watching medical dramas. One of them's called Transplant.
Ooh.
Because I feel like I'm learning at the same time,
Yeah,
even though
I
I'm
bet.
watching TV.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think
say
it's
very
like
topical.
the laziest way to learn. But
Is it
That's cool.
very accurate?
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Is it
no, it's
actually?
good because they'll say something like they'll be like he's tachycardic, and I'll be like, okay, hang on, what does that mean? And so then I can relate it to a situation.
Oh,
wow.
So then I can. That's kind of how
That's
I get.
so cool.
I mean, Grey's Anatomy is the 101 handbook for. No.
That's kind of fun though.
I don't
Like
think it-
Oh no, Shortland
this is-
Street.
Shortland Street.
very accurate.
This is not the bit. Like I shouldn't be. I just came up with this myself. This is how I study.
That's great.
No, the one thing I remember from Grey's Anatomy was when they like did I think it's like called a tracheotomy or whatever,
Yeah.
and they stabbed the pen in their neck,
Yeah.
and then they like breathe. Oh my god!
I'm so squeamish
I first
with
saw that
that.
when I was like 11, and it like traumatized
This
me.
is my life now. Like I'll drive down the road and I'll be like, okay, if there's a car accident, like what have I got to like, I've got my hands to start compressions.
I got a pen
Do
to
I
just-
need it? Yeah.
Wow.
Drill in the side of the head. I would never do that. I would never do that. You call 111.
111. Yes.
And then Caitlin shows up
And
with
then
her
I'd
pen in her
probably-
hands.
I'd probably call 911 since I've been watching so many dramas.
so true. Right,
Okay.
do you want me to do it?
My oh wow!
Are you ready?
I'm nervous now. I don't know what's in here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the yellow one.
Read it and then I'll click. Is that right?
Oh god, this is so terrible. What's your most embarrassing moment? I've had so many, but you know what? Probably my most embarrassing, the one that stands out, was when I was in year 10 at Catholic school. We had an open day, and one of the girls who was there was being really naughty, and she like got me to say the word masturbation, and my religion teacher had to go at me in front of everybody.
Masturbation.
Well,
Why do you say it
she was like,
that?
what is it? Masturbate?
Masturbation.
Oh, I say
Masturbate.
master.
Wait.
Mazda.
It is master. but-
Masturbation.
Master.
I was like, is there a
Pasta,
new way
pasta,
that the
pasta.
kids say it nowadays? That's like a fancy way. Like masturbation.
Yes, very posh when I did the masturbation.
Oh, you're a poor teacher.
No, it was. I don't know. It sounds pretty trivial, but like it was horrific. Like it was
Yeah,
one of
that
those things where
feeling.
it was like, when they say maths debating, and she
Yeah.
was like, say it louder over and over again, and I was like, oh, maths, and then my religion teacher was like, what are you doing? And then she like had a big go about how it's a sin and the devil will get you in your holes and
yeah, 'cause that's so true.
yeah.
Yikes.
So like I don't know why that one stuck in my brain, but it's
That's
etched
there.
in there really pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope
probably
you're
not the
okay.
worst. Thanks. Yeah. It clearly left some scars.
Yikes.
Right.
Well, yeah. Caitlin, thank
Thank you so much for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, you and Ella have met before, but I'm like low-key a little bit starstruck right now. Like, just a tiny bit.
I texted Ella, I was like, I should probably look presentable. Woke up with a massive pimple on my face.
Oh, that's how it always is.
Yeah.
This just shows that, like, even with years' experience in radio, nothing gets more glamorous. And you still don't know how to say words. You still, like, don't know how to form, like, sentences in your head.
Oh,
That's
okay.
so true.
But you girls will be amazing. I'm very excited for the future of broadcasting.
I'm very excited too. I'm excited to see you excel in nursing and just like
Thank
go
you.
from there.
Yeah.
And thank you
It's
so much.
such a cool thing.
Yeah.
So cool.
Oh,
Love
thanks,
it.
guys.
Would you like to plug your Instagram to about the 400 people that may watch this?
400?
Well, yeah. At first we got like 400 and we were
Yeah.
like, hello?
Woo,
Yeah, it's
wow,
quite
so
good.
that's awesome. My what? My Instagram.
Your Instagram. We always plug our Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of a...
Okay. I need
wanky
to
Put a
thing
little
that we
graphic
do.
up there for you as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
we'll make you a
God.
little thing.
Okay. Oh. Okay. My Instagram, actually, what is it? I think it's just Caitlin Marett, Marett.
Perfect.
My last name.
Ella, yeah, as per usual.
I'm Ella the Gator.
Yeah, she is.
And I won't explain the joke.
No, because she's done it about
gets it.
20 times.
That's good.
And I'm meg.wi, as always, as per usual.
Yeah.
As per every Monday, Friday.
Monday, Friday.
If you'd like to subscribe, please do. Like, whatever, comment, give us any feedback. We use it for our grades, so we'd really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all for today.
Sweet.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.